We're live.
All right. All right, welcome everybody to January's 16th board agenda meeting. Please rise and salute the flag.
Pledge allegiance to the flag, of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Councilman Morton,
Here.
Councilwoman McMahon,
Here.
Councilman Hanlon,
Here.
Councilman Niles.
Here.
Supervisor Merlino.
Here. All right, we're opening now for any questions on the resolutions that have been proposed in front of you that were sent out and on the website. Anybody have any questions on them? All right, Lori, you start with the first. You got any questions on these, please let us know before we. But I think you all got copies of this stuff. Go ahead.
Proposed resolution to authorize Supervisor Merlino to enter into and execute agreement with Adirondack Park Local Government Review Board and to pay a sum of $300 for the review board to represent the town in matters relating to the Adirondack Park.
Now, so you're the ones that don't know, we do this every year. It's like we belong to the group, all the towns do. They represent us for things through the Adirondack Park. And that's their dues.
That's right.
Yes.
Yes,
This
that's this first agreement you all got.
looking for this resolution sheet this month.
It was emailed to you and put in your boxes.
It looks like the
Yep, I don't have it.
okay.
No, I don't have it. Okay, yeah, I read it. I just don't have a copy. I don't have a copy of the resolutions for tonight either.
Okay,
Those were emailed to you as well.
Gotcha.
Now there are four cities town. Services of the review board representing the town of matters of the Adirondack Park.
Independent of state of New York Review Board that looks out for the interests of the residents of the agency. My understanding is correct. Is this who these people are?
yeah, yeah. They watched the.
We need a motion.
Well, I need a motion.
You need a motion?
You're ready. You ready for a motion? Go ahead.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, thank you. Proposed resolution to authorize application for grant funding in the amount of $125,000 for the town of Lake Luzerne new playground through New York State Department of Environmental Conservation's Adirondack Park and Catskill Community Smart Growth Program Round 3.
Make a motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? Hearing none carried. Proposed resolution to authorize grant writer Tracy Clothier of Clothier Planning and Consulting to prepare and submit the application at a cost of $500 for grant funding in the amount of $125,000 to construct the new town playground through New York State Department of Environmental Conservation's Adirondack Park and Catskill Park Community Smart Growth Grant Program for Round 7.
So this is actually asking
That's for her pay. Yeah.
approval to pay her $500 to fill out the application that we just said we want to do.
I'll make a motion.
A second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none carried. And that's, do you have anything else, Gene?
This is the one that came in Sunday, actually, printed it out. You all should have.
I emailed that to everybody earlier
Everybody
today.
got emailed. It's the zoning upgrade grant. We got that grant. That's it. Okay. And all it is just to split it out. It's Tracy Clothier, our grant writer. She would like to split the $50,000 grant, dollar grant in the way of $35,000 for Labella to do the engineering and $15,000 $1,000 for her to write it all out. That's,
Oh. We're not doing anything today, are we, with this, except maybe put it on the next agenda?
no,
I know Mary had,
She emailed something
Emailed.
about it, yeah.
yeah, you all got emailed, put it on and get it going, that's what we want Tracy to get it
Well,
going.
Mary,
Mary, you on?
I'm here.
Mary had comments that, correct me if I'm wrong, paraphrasing your comments, but some of this might need to be bid out.
I was just concerned about the process that was laid out, because usually if there's a requirement that there's a competitive bid process, there's a procedure you actually have to follow to do that. And that just wasn't what was relayed in the email.
Now, I've heard, and this is dangerous, that professional services, it's not required to bid it.
Yeah, it's not required under the state law, but it seems like DEC might have a different requirement. And that will be in the documents that you sign. So I think we should see those documents before you commit to anything.
Okay, then we'll table this to 2 weeks from now at the meeting.
And I
Is that an agreement?
Yes,
Yeah.
I agree.
Okay, so we will table it and we'll reappear 2 weeks from now when we have those documents. Okay, now that's basically the end of our legislative agenda on this. We're not asking for any comments unless somebody has them. I have a few that I'd like to pass to you guys and make you understand. I'll start with myself first. In your packet, this is something that the ladies brought up while they were doing the books. Number one is the Lake Luzerne debt service. You all have a copy of that. There's no motion on it or anything, but I'm just making sure everybody sees it. That's the total debt service. Most of it is highway. And you all have a copy if you want to look at it, make any comments at the next regular meeting. But this is what.
That's from Colleen.
That's from Colleen. This is what we're starting off in 2024. That's just one unit.
So that highway garage is finally getting down there.
Yeah, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more years to pay that. So and then we have the on there is the lease car and
Oh,
all right. If anybody has any questions, we can bring them up the next meeting because there's no resolution or anything on it.
So this is just an FYI.
That's all it is. That's what I'm
Letting you
doing
know.
right now. So everybody gets up to date with, especially the newer supervisors. Board members, I should say. One other thing, this will have to be a comment
Sorry.
period.
Do you know offhand, how much is that building? Monthly payment? Or
142,000. I think
It's
that's
not monthly, it's
yearly.
yearly or twice a year. You have to ask Colleen exactly
142,000.
about.
It was for 25 years, I think. But I can get the exact number if you want.
Oh, it's just-
It was done many years ago.
Just so I kind of wrap my head.
Rapid. Okay. The other thing I'm bringing up because I was approached by the road superintendent. And if he wants to explain it, he has 2 employees that basically started in 9/2022 with their 3% raise that we give, everybody got this month. Pay, he'd like to move there. Those 2 are 1910. They're the lowest paid people on the road department. And Ron is asking that we move them up to $20 an hour to keep it equal with other towns and the lowest people on our road department. So Ron, you want to speak to that on that?
On that situation, I had one employee that was working with me that left at $20 an hour.
Okay,
So that money should have been in there for him anyways. So it's only one other employee that I'd
Right.
like to get them both up to 20. They've been here over a year.
Year
So
and a
their
half.
probation is up and I feel they deserve it.
Do you need a motion on that?
We can leave it to next 2 weeks from now, or you want to make the motion now? We can pass it. or not pass it.
Make motion now and just pass it at the board.
Yeah,
board
well,
meeting. Would be
Okay,
good.
well, yeah,
Okay, so we just need a resolution.
right.
Yeah,
The only reason I'm hesitating on that, by the time the next meeting comes is another pay period. If you want to make it now, it starts today or yesterday.
whatever works better for you.
And there's money in his budget for this and anything, like I told Ron, when it gets to November, when we start looking at how close the budget is, we can always take some money out of unexpended balances to cover the rest of the pay for. I don't want to do it now. I want to just go with what we have in the bank now for the
Right.
budget wise.
One comment I have is put something in the file that rationalizes that change. One of the last auditor's comments was that some of our payroll decisions seem somewhat arbitrary.
Yeah.
Of course, now he's not out in the garage every day, dealing with them, and so I don't necessarily agree with that comment, but just put something in the file that says we want to give so-and-so such a raise because of these reasons.
Probation period's over.
That's it.
Yeah, that sounds right. I just have what Ron
Great.
put down here. So I'll make the motion if somebody wants. If we get a second, we'll pass it now.
I'll
And
second
we'll
it.
start at the
I'll
next.
second it. There's a new pay period is over. The old one's over today,
Yeah,
correct? We
the
started
new
a
one
new
starts today. It's too late.
Oh,
now.
it starts, yeah, okay.
So we'll start it.
It started yesterday, actually.
Started
we
yesterday,
We
okay.
start on Sundays.
So we have a motion in a second.
And a second, yes, we do.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none carried.
Okay. The third thing I have, and I spoke to everybody, we got 4 people going to the class, the training class up in Huracan. They're gonna have pizzas and sodas to have. It's gonna be about 2 hours. I have 4 people going and we got it all scheduled, so.
What's that for, Gene?
That's Huracan, having, somebody come in and speak to all supervisors and, new board members on things that they might need to learn.
Okay.
It's Monday, January
January.
29th
Right, I got that right.
from 6 to 8.
Yep. So we're
I
gonna
think
go,
on the
we're gonna
30th
go,
we have-
we'll go in one part of the.
Maybe Mike will go with us, so he stay out of trouble.
All right, the next thing, I put it all, everybody has a copy of it because I sent it out. It's the, I'm happy to hear when the ladies were doing the thing. We, made some changes in the way we did our CDs. And CDs have been pretty low. But this past year, when we found out what the interest is, we moved some money around. And I'm happy to say we garnered $50,000 in interest. That's free money. Okay, so I just want to put that in your head that, because I got another thing coming with that, so we garnished that. The other thing, can't even read my own writing sometimes. I think the road department and buildings and grounds, we have one bucket truck we bought used about 10 years ago. It's just lived its life out. And I'd like permission to go out and go look for another used one. There's a company in Troy that has maybe 30 or 40 of them out on the lot. That's the way we got the other one. Come back with a price for a bucket truck. And I'd like to use some of the money because I don't anticipate spending more than 10,000. Some of that interest money, because that interest money is not in the budget. When we did the budget, we didn't plan on this much interest. So it's not signed to anything yet, so. But I'm not gonna do nothing now. I'm gonna come back hopefully by the next meeting, because I think Ron could use a bucket truck for some of his stuff, and I know buildings and grounds needed for doing things around town.
If I remember right, in our revised procurement policy,
Mhm.
we had a specific line for used vehicles.
Right.
Because every time we tried to buy a
You-
used vehicle,
you
we
can't-
missed it.
Yeah,
So
this will be,
check that.
yeah, but we'll go back, I'll come back with numbers and
Yeah.
it's up to the
I
board.
think we can go up to 15,000.
Yeah,
I
I think
believe.
we have those numbers written out. But I'm just giving you all an idea for next month's meeting.
Well, let me explain a little bit. During COVID, dealers didn't have any new vehicles. Couldn't buy snowplows and stuff. And we finally used one. By the time we got off the proverbial pot, they'd be gone.
So I just ran into that problem. This last year, we ran into this problem getting.
Yeah, a
Ron
couple of
trying to get-
times.
vehicles, we've already had this problem.
There was a dealer down on Quaker Ave, had exactly the truck we wanted to bid, but it was used. So, you know, you go out to bid for a 2010 F-350 was 62,000 miles on it. You know, so we changed the procurement.
We changed it. We have,
To give us more flexibility.
we have up to 10,000, I think we could do, maybe 15. I'd have to
Well,
look at it.
she thought it's 15.
I think, I'm not positive. You'd have to look at it.
Yeah, I'd have to look at it, because I just wrote all this stuff up today, so I had no time to really check that stuff out. And the other thing is the Jeep vehicle that's being used by the water purifier. That Jeep needs, and I talked to Brian and Buildings and Grounds and Rick today, actually, and they feel less than $1,000 to get that thing. It needs brakes, and I think it needs a muffler. If we do that, it's gonna be less than 1,000. And they tell me it could last 2, maybe 3 more years. So instead of trying to go out and buy another used one, and I feel it doesn't have a lot of miles on it, because it's only used around 100 years. So
It's worth putting money into.
uh,
At least
yeah,
worth putting-
so it's worth putting into it, and I'll come back next 2 months and I'll give you exactly what they think it's gonna cost. Next to last is, I don't know why I wrote this, it's for the water district. Oh, okay, this is you, Ron, I'm sorry, I got your name there, but I forgot why I wrote it. You gave us this thing on, the lead pipes. All right, what do you want to do with this now?
Yeah, AJ,
You should all have one of these. Both.
I got AJ with the Cadius there. He's making up another paper to go with that.
All right,
So if the people at home do it, they have some more information to go with. and they
something
have
to fill it out.
They gotta take a picture, fill it out, and then send it back to us. Or Warren County has the website where they can put it right in there and do it that way. So,
Because we did this a year ago with him. We spent a lot of money with him and
with,
people never
yeah, you
responded.
did it with, that other
That
stuff.
was on the income
That
stuff
was on the income
for the
survey.
grant.
Yeah,
This is coming from the federal, so.
a mandatory thing.
Yeah. This is a start. People don't do this, we're gonna have to go door to door and go down in their basement and look
Yeah,
to see.
would it be worth putting in there if they don't help us out by doing this? We have to come to their house, there'll be a charge.
Yeah, I went, I don't
Maybe
know
that'll
if they put their charge, but.
Well, it's gonna cost a lot
you
of
say
time.
that We have to come to their house, they might be like, oh no, I'm gonna do this,
Yeah,
you know, so.
all right. Well, figure out what you want to do and let's get this going, because this has to be done before the end of this year.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, I got one more. This is a sad one for me. I got a letter Friday from State Health Department. We applied for a grant for 2.2 million to help do the repair water lines on our roads. And we got I call it no loan stamped on my forehead. There wasn't enough money to fill our recommendation, and we can apply again next year. This is the 4th time we've done this. And we're waiting 4 years. By now, it probably cost another $500,000 to do this work. So Jim and I met last week with the Labarge Group. This guy was very impressive. You want to
I
talk
would
about it?
agree.
Very impressive. They've gotten he was running over grants that he got for Corinth and all a lot of towns in this area. Not that I want to take anything from Cedarwood, but they're the ones that have been writing that one for 4 years and nothing's been happening. Now, if we want, when I talked to everybody at the opening day to hire another engineer, this is that company, they sent us a letter. We had a meeting with them, and not that I don't want to involve people, but I had one more person, it's a meeting. So, but he spent 2 hours with us.
Yeah,
At least, he was very impressive. I was impressed with his credentials and what he's done over last 20 years. So if everybody thinks about it, we'll wait till the meeting and maybe we should offer the job to him to go out and see if we can get us a grant for the water.
It wouldn't hurt to give someone else a shot at it.
That's what
I
I.
mean, what could we get hurt? It's not gonna hurt us.
And it doesn't, that's the same thing. We don't pay anything until they do the work.
They,
Nothing wrong with that.
I think
I
I'd
think you
even
said
like to
he
have
had-
them come here and talk to us, the board, about it, so you
could
could
be a
be,
good idea.
you could be as impressive with them as I am.
They said they had, there are 5 or 6 people on staff that pretty much just write and monitor grants. And he's
So
all-
we've been trying for 4 years, and I think we gotta think going a different
So the
direction.
barge's track record, that's what interests me, is the
Yeah.
track record. I mean,
Maybe we'll call
they
them.
can sound, but what's their actual production? Are they? They're turning out good grants.
Yeah, Biggie, he was, maybe I'll call him, have him come at the next Monday meeting and give us a
Rat-
15 minutes.
He's got,
Yeah,
I don't know how his batting average is either, but he's got some
got
grants.
some big grants. It was
Like, I like to
impressive.
see compared to who we're using now. I'd like to see some
Yeah.
comparison in
Yeah.
numbers to tail the tape.
Well, he's the one, that's why we put him on the agenda for when we had the agenda to get another, he's the one who wrote us, came to me, a letter that he'd like to be one in the wings of our town. And then Jim called him, came, great resume, let's use that phrase. All right, so I'd like to do that and try again one more time.
Can we get the complete engineering file
Yes, I have.
from that application?
Mhm.
I assume it's probably got blueprints and stuff. in it.
Oh, that I'd have to get from Cedarwood, yeah.
We should get that.
All right. All right, I'll ask them. I talked to Cedarwood today and I told them about it. They knew about it already. And he wants to maybe redo it over. And I said, look, send me something on the email. He's tried to get it to me today. I might have gotten it, but we've been here. And I'll see if it's on my computer. I'll read what he says and I'll send you all a copy. But I really, not that I want anything bad about him, but I'd like to try something, maybe a different approach. Everybody okay with that? All
Absolutely.
right. And that's all I got. That's my little minor things. So,
I had something, it's just an announcement. I wasn't prepared, so I don't have the date. Maybe Karen, excuse me, or Chris will know it. Warren County has an open public meeting about the plan, Warren County plan. They're starting up.
it's on our Monday night of our meeting though.
We don't do Monday nights anymore.
Oh, Tuesday.
Yeah, I think it's,
Oh, maybe that's right.
just so you know, I think it's next Monday.
It's a Monday night. I just saw it the other day.
So it's 6 o'clock, I think it is. It's at Adirondack Community College. If anybody wants to go, I'm pretty sure John Karumsky and I are gonna go.
I'll send out the information tomorrow.
Yeah,
And anybody wants to go, let me know.
I was on a call with those guys about that comprehensive plan. They contacted local businesses and stuff that are in the outdoor adventure space or whatever like that, on how we can improve just county resources as far as that goes. So
All right, good.
Yeah.
And by next meeting, I'm gonna try put that team together to start on this comprehensive plan. Using up the grant, I should say, that we got with it. So
for
that's
zoning.
for the zoning, yeah. Gotta do the zoning changes on that before we even try to get something else. So I'll have that already. I've asked a couple of people and I'll put the team together and see how we can get it done. Most of it will be some board members, Colleen, because we need her just to keep track of everything, and maybe 1 or 2 people from the community to be on that. So we'll work that out. Like they did the comprehensive plan, that meeting, well, we'll have that for the next zone. All right, anybody else have a comment?
I have a question.
Go ahead.
Garbage privatization. That apparently you guys were discussing that last year and it just kind of went away. Can anybody get me up to speed on?
The last person I talked to was Twin Bridges. And about a year ago. And she was gonna put a program together for us. Then I got an email from her saying they have to hold off a while because they were selling. But now I heard that they're not selling and I'm gonna give them a call, see if they have could put a plan together for us. But the last plan was kind of expensive, but I want it down in writing now and see if they come in. I think they're spreading into Queensbury, Corinth. I see the Corinth.
Who does Corinth?
Huh?
Who does Corinth?
Twin Bridges.
Twin Bridges does Corinth.
Yeah, there it is. I'm seeing if you drive around a lot going to Queensbury's got some, but they don't have the whole town. They only have portions of it, but we're a lot smaller than that,
Mhm.
so. I'd like to see them, and get a price, and then we can figure out what it's gonna cost the taxpayers, or what we can save, or what it's gonna cost us more. The last figure, to be honest with you, I have a number of about $225 per property, not person, per property that they pick up garbage on. And what I got from them and what I talked to Corinne, Corinne pays about $39 a month. So you're talking a little over $400.
Is Corinth through the village only, or they do the whole
I
town?
think they do the whole thing. So, but they have a lot more people, you just have to get them to give you a number. I'm looking at something in the neighborhood of $400 a year for our taxpayers.
Mhm.
So it'll be about $150 raise in taxes. But I want to get better, now the holidays are over and everything else, and I got a little more time to do it. And then I'll bring it to you, people, and we'll see what we want to do. It won't happen this year. It'll probably have to start at the first of next year.
I have another update I just remembered. I found out about a small husband and wife company that does water filtration inspections, certifications.
Oh, yeah, I forgot to mention that.
Yeah, and Gene spoke to them this morning. They're gonna give us a price to be our backup water filtration person. The husband has a 1A license,
A, B, and C.
bigger than we need.
Yeah.
And the wife just got her C certification, which is exactly what we need for a backup.
Yeah.
So we don't know how their price is gonna be.
Yeah,
They're a
this
company.
all happened Friday
They would
and
not be employees, they would be a contract.
contract. They're gonna give me, but they might have by tomorrow. They know exactly what we want. We're looking for taking care of Saturdays and Sundays, number one. And fill in when our purifier Jeff goes on vacation, so 1 week or 2
Holidays.
weeks. Holiday pay, a holiday that he wants to take off, and sick leave. And this all came about because Jeff had COVID a couple of weeks ago. And thank you to
Okay.
Logan. He filled in for about, I would say 7 days. And took care of it, so the town was in the proper place to get it tested. So now these people here, again, I had them here this morning, they were here, they went out with Jeff. See what the locations are, what detail, and they know exactly what we're looking for. So they're gonna get us a price, and then it's up to us if we want to.
I got their name from the health department.
Health department, yeah, we've been trying for months. Yeah, I called him 5 times in the last 3 months, he called once and he gets.
Did you ever think it was Eugene?
Maybe. Well, they might have came on board. They're a team. That's their job. You know, it's not something like we have. Logan works for the DPW and he does that part-time and everything was ones that we were getting or trying to get work for other towns and we'll do it part-time. This is a team that does it as a business.
Hmm.
So as soon as I get the number, the stuff, I'll either mail it out to everybody. All right, anything else down this end?
I just had a few things.
No.
No,
How much?
jeez.
There we go.
Try to get the money.
You guys had, our guys had quite a bit of overtime now that winter finally showed up. I had one employee question me. Is there any way can we put a certain amount of overtime hours on a check and then bank the other hours until another? Because they're getting slammed with taxes. So I don't know if there's a way that we can do this. They questioned me and I said I'd bring it to the board.
I don't know if Mary can have an answer to that. Can we,
Keep smiling.
she's smiling, uh-oh. Can we bank some of their money and give it
No.
over like a course, something like that?
You can't bank the money. I mean, you have to put the hours worked in that pay period on the check. But if you wanted to do something like a comp program where they could comp the time at some point, that would be a legal way to do that. but you can't split the money up. You have to pay them for what they worked in that pay period.
All
I
right, so
would
we
like
can,
to
so
look
we can
into the-
comp the time, did you say? Is that?
If you wanted
They
to.
had 30 hours this week and they only wanted 15. We pay them for 15 and then put 15 in reserve. Is that how it works?
But you can't pay them money for that 15, like they could take
off.
time off at some
Oh,
other
I know.
point.
Okay.
Uh,
Oh,
Town
that,
of Day does this and I will contact them, and get
Who?
more info. Town of Day,
I'll see if you want.
they do this.
All right,
so-
let's find out. Maybe they do a way that we can try it too.
Yeah.
Make them two separate checks, overtime and a separate check.
I don't know. I don't know
I'm not
that much
sure.
about that stuff.
That was just brought to my attention.
Because I remember when I was in the union, we used to get our settlement for the union contract. We'd get, I think the state, they put it all into one check. They like to put it in one check because they got more money back.
Yeah,
If you gave them two separate checks, but I don't think you can do it overtime.
Yeah.
That's totally different. That's a union contract settlement. That's,
Yeah, because that's,
Apples and
that's
oranges.
overtime. That's not the regular.
yeah, that's something different. I believe.
I don't
This
know.
is overtime.
Mathematically, I don't know if the cost is the same. Let's just say they work 30 hours and they get overtime, they have to pay $300 extra in taxes. But if you give it to them 2 times, is it $50 more each time? I just don't know yet. I'd have to,
yeah, I'm
You know,
not sure. It's-
are they saving anything?
It's better. It would save them some money. That's why IRS won't allow it.
Oh, okay.
Right.
All right, we'll look into it. I'll have, Mary
me
could
look
look
into
into it
that.
too more.
Yeah.
I got another situation there down on Church Street, the funeral home street. I want to do something with that this next year. Seems like every year I'm on the outskirts doing the paving. I think downtown needs it, but the drainage down there is horrible. All the catch basins are all rotted and falling in. I'm repairing them. It's a substantial amount just for catch basins and the metal tops and frames. I'm not sure how much extra you're gonna give me with my CHIPS money. But I want you to I want to express this to you when you do that. I know the catch basins framed and great. There's 18 of them and that's gonna be about 20,000. Just to change them. That's not even the pipe in between them. I think that I calculated that last year at like 40 grand.
So on that street, you think it'd be a better idea to break it off in smaller chunks, like do the catch basins,
I was.
then
gonna
do all your underground work and
I
then
was-
do
I was
pavement.
gonna do one side.
Yeah, this
one
year,
year.
1 year.
then Patch it all back in and then do the other side the following year. And that way I can grind down the middle and put a nice layer of blacktop. on
Not
it.
cutting, yeah.
So,
Well, we know, you got 110 extra in the budget for paving.
Right.
is that what,
That was the amount that we figured we'd have to pay back on that
On
loan.
loan.
okay,
So that's in the budget.
That's
okay,
already in the budget.
all right. So if the town wants to throw in a little more, I could maybe at least buy the catch basins for one side this year. And do them, and then next year I can do the other side, but.
All right, let's look
I
at
just
that.
wanted to bring this to your attention and the cost, because the CHIPS money, I want to leave for the roads.
You have to. We need a couple of them
got-
roads, definitely have to.
I got a mile up here on Howe Road that I'm gonna redo. And it's gonna be over 200,000, just for 1 mile.
Mhm.
1 mile, that's it. So,
Yeah, we figured about 425,000 in CHIPS money, plus the other
I can't
110.
remember exactly what I got back from CHIPS last year,
Yeah.
360 something in there.
I thought it was closer to 4, but we could look at, we'll look at that. Let's talk. Colleen has the numbers on it.
State pays us money for the roads. Fixed.
If there's any board members that want to go down and take a look at them, I'd be more than happy to walk you down through,
No, we can.
so.
All right.
So I just wanted to bring that to your attention. The water line. I haven't had any leaks there in years. I mean, I think that'll be all right.
Where is it? Right in the middle of the road?
It's on the right side going down.
We
I
got-
gotta do something with the road no matter what.
Yeah, yeah.
If we change the water line out or not.
Mm.
The road's falling apart, where you turn on the Lawrence tree, it's just, it's falling apart.
Well, it makes sense to start working on the underground stuff now, like the catch basins and all that, like you're saying,
Yeah.
it makes sense to do that.
If I can get the sides done and then just mill down a little bit and maybe only put a little bit of pavement. Maybe years down the road, we can get that water line changed and put a good base down.
It's probably, not the most efficient way to piecemeal it out, but I could
Right.
tell you, the way we're going, it's never gonna get done. Be better to get quarter of it done now
Yeah,
than nothing.
right.
Yeah, that paving and
Yeah.
stuff, it's
I
getting to be
mean,
expensive.
Every year I put it off, the worse it's getting.
Yeah.
So I think we gotta do it. We got to. So,
I mean, can you make it that only have to have the catch basins on one side instead of both?
That's
Doesn't
there's
work.
a reason why they're on both sides.
Yeah.
really wide.
Yeah, it's a pretty wide street too.
Yeah,
Probably one of the
yeah,
widest streets.
You can't, you gotta do them.
All right. All right. Anything else? Any other questions?
Are you done?
Good.
You good?
The only thing that I have something, and then Chris wants to talk to you about something as well, but at the last meeting, we had a long discussion on this road issue, the road width issue, and as you all know, Tom Reed has withdrawn his subdivision application. So there doesn't seem to be any great push from anyone else in the community right now to change that regulation in our subdivision book. And if we're going to be redoing the zoning ordinance, the zoning map, and the subdivision regulations, which are part of all of that, I would suggest that we just table that whole discussion until we get into those changes. And that way, if we're going to have some kind of a consulting group going over it, I think it would be better to do it that way and be able to get some feedback from someone who may be more knowledgeable on that whole situation, because my biggest fear in presenting all of that is that we might have been overlooking something that we should not have been by trying to rush it through. So I just wanted to bring that up, that I don't know what your feelings are, but I think that we should just perhaps table that whole thing until we redo the ordinance and the map and the subdivision regulations.
Well, that's why we'll try to put a little team together and get it working on it, so we have something in the next couple of
I'm
months.
assuming that you're going to include my office in
Yes,
that.
definitely, you'll want, definitely.
And I know that I would think that perhaps the chairman of both the zoning board and the planning board might like to be involved in that in some way as well. I don't know who you're thinking of
No,
bringing
those
in.
are, I was talking to Chris, but the other day, about, those are the three top ones, and I was really talking about Annie. And, okay, yeah, his name is a blank to me right now.
I'm gonna let you suffer till you figure it out.
I was gonna make you the chairman of that committee, and then, and have Annie on it, those three, and try to pick one or two people that were on maybe the comprehensive plan.
Okay,
To ask, it's up to the group. And then like Jim always likes to follow through, but I don't want to put him as a whole member. This way you have two board members and there won't be a meeting to the most part.
You will not be able to keep
Yeah, he likes to get involved. All right, well,
your blood, you know.
Chris has something he wants to
yes,
bring up.
Chris, I'm sorry.
Mhm.
I talked to Dean President about it. He thinks it's a good idea.
You might want to inform the rest of the board what it's about.
Go ahead.
Jim Miles and I are gonna drive up and down around town looking for lights that are out. We've been prorated for, and it could be a good idea to have a flashing emergency light on top of the town car in addition to having the blinkers on. So we'd like permission to purchase either a new or a used flashing light. Brownie also let me know there's maybe an employee that we have that has a used one they might be able to provide us.
Well, I mean,
Yes, Jamie Ells has one. I'm asking him right now how much he wants for it, but I mean, if he fills out about $50 or something,
Yeah.
he'd be more than willing to
Is that
give
a plug-in? Is it a plug-in?
Yeah.
Yes,
Where they're about $100 new, I was told that car price here in town.
You should
Well,
have something, you should really should have something on
You
it.
gotta have
Gotta
that,
do
yeah,
it
no,
after
no,
dark.
yeah, but that's a reasonable amount. That's, you know,
If you're gonna do that, get high vis vests too.
Okay, very good.
Absolutely, absolutely. After dark, yes.
I have one.
Covered in that department.
You got your own?
Yeah.
what's that, vest?
Vest, high vis
I
vest.
just got, I have 6 or 7 that was given to me by one of my sons that works in construction. So I'll bring them, you know, they're not the real fancy ones, but they're vests.
Okay, they should be.
So I have a whole bunch. I have a whole bunch.
High visibility, the better. The more you can see, the better. You guys are gonna be out at night walking around.
All right.
Well, he's gonna do the walk.
This-
Jim and I were talking about doing that tomorrow, what's going on?
I got the time.
Okay.
I don't know about the weather.
Well, you don't have the light yet, though.
Play it by ear. Oh, if I can get it tomorrow,
I would say if the board don't mind, let's spend $100. It's, you know.
This is something we can use in the future.
Yeah,
anyways, right? You keep
anybody could
using
use it. Even Ron could use
Get
it
it, get it.
when needed.
Get
Use
that
any-
one or get a new one.
I think it's a good idea.
Yeah, if you think Jamie's is okay and not too old and it's reasonable, we can buy that.
if you wanna get a new one, get a new one.
Yeah, let's get a new one. I'd rather get,
Just
a new
trying to save you a few bucks,
Yeah.
but
appreciate it.
you got it.
it's less I can give you for roads though, but.
Ah.
All right, that's it?
Give me your phone.
Motion adjourned?
No, we have to go over the agenda items for the next meeting. We'll need a resolution to pay the bills.
Oh, well,
We'll need a resolution to do minutes,
Right.
approve minutes.
that's standard stuff, yeah.
And a resolution to accept the audit of the record keeping,
Right.
which is what you did today. And then whatever anybody else may have.
Yeah, as long as we get the week before that Friday, we'd like to get them done by Wednesday so that we're finished with them. Sometimes you get one that comes in like I got one here on a Sunday it came in, so, you know. But, yeah, we're ready for that.
So
Anything else, Mark?
that's all I have.
All right, so we get a motion adjourned,
Good motion.
second?
I'll make a motion.
All in favor?
Uh,
Thank you all, good meeting.